Thrilling escapes in Sword AF Episode 3, Pathfinder and Starfinder have some huge announcements, and Bell's Hells makes a deal with the devil.
I've made a huge mistake.
Welcome to Fantasy News Friday, the Character Sheet's weekly wrap-up of all of the tabletop RPG and fantasy news stories this week that weren't quite big enough to fit for their own video. This week we have some spoilers for the latest Critical Role and Sword AF episodes, so click away now if you're not caught up on either series and care about spoilers. We also have some big Pathfinder and Starfinder news from Gen Con and much more. Now, if you like these kind of videos, feel free to toss us a like and subscribe as we work our way to 20,000 subscribers. It really helps with the video and we really appreciate it. And now,
News Team, assemble!
Spoilers ahead for Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 67. Bell's Hells came across a ruined castle where demons were preparing for some kind of terrible magic ritual using captured Tempest-Blade prisoners, as demons are wont to do. And while the Hell's Bells managed to defeat the demons, they were aided by a devil, a champion of Asmodeus, who was there to help protect his own god, and who entered into an actual pact with Fern, leaving her with the physical mark of Asmodeus, the great betrayer god, on her hand. Now, because of that, this devil said that their destinies are now intertwined and then vanished into a flash of flame. Also, we will note that Travis is now 3 for 3 on finding evil swords, as he is once again in possession of some kind of evil sentient sword that has already begun talking to Chetney. Surely, nothing bad will come from these events. This is all just very normal D&D stuff, and there will be no consequences to their actions, am I right? Wrong! Damian Haas was too swamped with Gen Con to prep for another interview, but Sword AF also had a new episode this week, with the worst delivery crew since Futurama making a hectic escape from the Pollywogs after they unleashed a dragon turtle that almost destroyed everything and everyone in the village. And that includes, unfortunately, poor Tungo.
Look how they massacred my boy.
After escaping, they realized they forgot to actually get payment for their delivery on top of, all the other nonsense that happened. Despite this, the party did manage to level all the way up to level 4. They got a new mission to try to cover up the failure of their old delivery. This new mission was to deliver moonwater to what appears to be an incredibly cursed city devoid of life. Once they arrived there, they promptly managed to confront some kind of wolf monster. Oh, and a unicorn had to explain what sex is to Fernie. So, Sword AF. It's another classic episode. You should really check it out.
This is amazing.
Now, if you're wondering why my voice is an octave or two deeper than it usually is, that's because we're at Gen Con this week, and we've got some Gen Con news for you. We got our first glimpse of the new Stormlight Archives tabletop RPG, which is based on a new system that uses 3 groups of stats: the physical, the cognitive, and the spiritual. Each group has their own set of related skills underneath them. We do know that this game will not have a traditional class system, but instead will have talent trees that players can select from. Now, as we mentioned before, this is a bespoke system, and we can confirm that it uses a D20 as the base for its checks, but with a twist which we will let Brotherwise Games reveal later. We've heard some great things about this game, and we think that folks will be excited about who all is working on this. Now, Stormlight Archives Tabletop RPG's Kickstarter is scheduled for 2024 by Brotherwise Game, and we will have more details when the release date gets closer.
Can't wait!
Also at Gen Con, some huge announcements from Paizo, as they have revealed that 2 character classes will be heading to playtest in Pathfinder 2nd Edition next month instead of just the 1 class as was rumored. Also, for you sci-fi fans out there, Starfinder 2nd Edition was announced and is now completely compatible with Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Characters can jump seamlessly back and forth from the fantasy and the sci-fi settings now, and with all the time shenanigans that come with that. A full playtest of Starfinder 2nd Edition will start sometime in this next summer, and a partial playtest of the new Starfinder 2nd Edition will begin with a field test this month of a new base class, the Soldier, some new weapons, and more, so you should check that out right now on the Starfinder playtest page.
Check this out.
And finally, in one last bit of Gen Con news, Renegade Games has announced a Welcome to Night Vale tabletop RPG based on the hugely popular Welcome to Night Vale fiction podcast series. Now, this podcast has over 350 million downloads and counting, and the incredible popular setting of Night Vale is full of mystery and hidden lore. It's this weird little desert town, and it's a really cool concept for a podcast. You should all check it out. It will be joining some other Renegades tabletop RPGs like Kids on Bikes and the G.I. Joes and Transformer RPGs, and that will be coming out in 2024. Now, if you are wondering where our Daggerheart coverage is, make sure you check back on the channel very soon, as we are going to be getting a full walkthrough of the Critical Role RPG by a very special teacher, and you won't want to miss it. But until then, let us know what your favorite story of the week was in the comments, and feel free to hit those like and subscribe buttons.